doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode. And man, year 2 of bowl season for CTC is finally here. I can't believe it's here already. We got the Army-Navy game to go to talk about. But before all that, I'd like to ask you to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, helps the network. It was my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose Network. We also got shows like The Main Show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave, who went live yesterday. Again, Tomo's on vacation, but they go live every Tuesday and Friday, 7 o'clock to about 8:30ish. Have Unfazed every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, featuring Joe and AJ. We have BWT. Shout out BWT Baseball with Teddy. Shout out the Yankees, making moves, getting Devin Williams, closer from the Brewers. So that was a good little move right there. Man, all your trade, free agency tracker, things like that. Shout out BWT Baseball with Teddy. FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. We had the Niners Rams Thursday night. And if you had some fantasy players in that game, boy, I know you are pissed. But fantasy football season, the playoffs are around the corner. If not, some leagues have started. So make sure you tune into Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. We have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sports. RBO Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn, NBA content there. We have Kings Talk with Joe Jordan, Sacramento Kings Talks, all your Sacramento Kings needs through there. We have In the Red Corner featuring Ricky, Tomo, and Ty, all your boxing episodes, boxing news, all that through there, matchups, things like that. And I believe that's all the network has to offer. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel and it helps the network. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with them. Like, comment, share, subscribe to their channels as well. So as I flip my page back, we're going to start with the infamous Army-Navy game. We have that today at 3 o'clock in D.C. in the Northwest Bank Stadium. As I look for my banner, 3 o'clock on CBS. Army is favored about 5.5 points. Army's coming into this one with one loss, and they're coming into this one as the American Athletic Conference champions. Navy is also part of the American Athletics, so they're coming in champs over Navy. Navy's coming into this one off a win against ECU. Braxton Woodson played amazing. But we're going to give 5 keys for each side. I'm going to pick a winner and explain why. So for Navy, you got to give Braxton Woodson an open space, whether it's with runs, quarterback draws, option plays, things like that. You got to give him an open space. He's so dynamic with the ball in his hand, and you just got to let him be him in open space. Stifle Bryson Daly. Bryson Daly is the engine that makes that Army offense go at quarterback. Like I said before, taking Army to high heights. Heights I haven't seen. I've never seen one. And 2, people probably thought they'll never see since like the 50s and 40s. If shout out to you if you're still alive and seen that. But I've never seen Army at these levels before. So shout out Bryson Daly. Speaking of levels, they're ranked 22nd in the country. So let me give them their proper respect. Feed Alex Texas, one of the backs in this option offense. As well as Eli Heinrich. I can't forget about Eli Heinrich. Gotta feed him as well. Pass the ball. Now their passing, Brian Newberry has done a good job incorporating the passing into Navy's offense. And that's another thing. You can drop back Braxton Woodson, and if nobody's there, they don't contain him. He's gone. Same with Bryson Daly. But we'll talk about Army in a second. But definitely have to pass the ball if you're Navy. You got to get off the field on third downs. You got to get off the field. That was Tulane's issue in the championship game. They were forced third downs. They were forced fourth downs. They just could not get off the field. Navy, both of y'all run the option. Now, granted, both of y'all have kind of started running more than the option, but both of y'all run the option. Y'all know how it works. You know you got to be disciplined. Got to get off the field on third down. Now, if you're Army, you got to run Kanye Udo. Kanye Udo was right there running mates with Bryson Daly in that American Athletic Championship game. You got to run him the ball. Contain Braxton Woodson. Can't let him be dynamic in open space. That was ECU's issue. Gap sound defense. Again, going against the option. You got to be in your gap. You got to be disciplined. Win the trenches. That was another big thing against Tulane in the championship game. They won the trenches. Flat out just won the trenches. And that's going to be huge for Army. And you got to stay ahead of schedule. Obviously, run heavy option offenses. You got to stay ahead of schedule. But my winner is Army. And I'm choosing Army, man, because, again, besides the Notre Dame game where Notre Dame just straight boat raced Army just been looking dominant all year. Navy, they had the little rough patches, got shut out by Tulane. I forgot who else they lost to, but they had a little rough patch. Army just had one blemish. You could just say that was just a blemish. Oh, Notre Dame. Navy got also blown out by Notre Dame. They had like 5 turnovers in that game. But Army, man, they look dominant. Also, Navy, they look like you can get them to turn the ball over. I feel like Army's defense is good enough to force a turnover. And Daly's just been playing on another level. He's been on another planet. I get Woodson's been really good in space too, but I think Army's get disciplined. They won't really let them get out and hurt them as much. I'm taking Army. I'm taking Army in this one. Now, quick side note before I move on. They do say military games take the under. I don't know. I'm not giving you no advice. I'm not saying take the over or the under. I'm just saying I don't know if I would just loosely follow that rule this year. That's all I'm saying. But we're going to move on to the next game. Tonight at 9 o'clock, we have the Veterans Bowl, our first bowl of the year, between South Alabama, who's coming into this one's 8.5-point favorites, at Western Michigan. Now, I just put at because that's what it seems like, but you know it's a bowl game, so it's neutral site. The bowl game is in Alabama. I guess technically Western Michigan is the home team, but it's a neutral site game nonetheless, and South Alabama's coming into it as an 8.5-point favorite, 9 o'clock on ESPN. So first, I did South Alabama first. Gio Lopez has to use his legs. He's a really good passer, but he's also a really good runner. He's a lefty, so we got to use his legs. Contain Jalen Buckley and Jaden Nixon, especially Jaden Nixon, because Jaden Nixon, to me, is Western Michigan's big play back, while Jalen Buckley is more so the workhorse back. Force Hayden Wolf to throw some interceptions. Hayden Wolf, man, you going to throw him. This guy catch him. You got to find a runner because Fluff Bothwell has opted out. He's in the transfer portal, so he's a bowl opt-out. He was at South Alabama's leading rusher, so you definitely got to find someone. I think Control Bullock will be able to step up and take over that spot for South Alabama. And last, but certainly not least, obviously you got to get the ball to your playmaker, Jamal Pritchard. I saw somewhere that he is possibly a bowl opt-out, but he ain't opt-out yet. And at this moment, if he ain't opt-out, he's going into the game plan. So you got to get the ball to Jamal Pritchard, your big play guy. Now, if you're Western Michigan, Jaden Nixon needs to hit the big runs. Like I said, Jaden Nixon to me is the big play back. Jalen Buckley to me is the workhorse back. So Jaden Nixon needs to hit on some big plays against the South Alabama defense. Have to feed Kenneth Womack, especially with Blake Bosma, your tight end. He's opted out. He's not playing. So Kenneth Womack will be even more important than he already is. You got to win the turnover battle because, like I said, Hayden Wolf, man, he's going to throw some picks. South Alabama going to catch him. So they definitely got to get some turnovers of their own against Gio Lopez in the South Alabama offense. You got to contain Gio Lopez's legs, and you got to stop the run because, again, that's going to force Gio Lopez to throw the ball. Maybe your defense gets a turnover. It's easier to get turnovers for passing than it is from running. So each team, for the most part, they're intact for this bowl game. Like I said, on the offensive end for South Alabama, you're just missing so far Fluff Bothwell, your leading rusher, which is a big piece, but you got everybody else intact. And for Western Michigan, you're missing your tight end, Blake Bosma, which is a big piece, but you got your offense intact. My winner is going to be South Alabama. Now, I'm picking South Alabama because I trust Gio Lopez. He's more dynamic than Hayden Wolff. More than I trust Hayden Wolff. I've seen Hayden Wolff in close games just make some bad decisions. I've seen Gio Lopez make some really good ones. And he has the added dynamic of using his legs, which I think is really key. But I also look at Western Michigan's last 5 games. They went 2-3. There are 2 wins where Eastern Michigan, who's not bowl eligible, they went 5-7. And Cole Snyder is also a turnover machine for Eastern Michigan. And Kent State, who went 0-12 this year. They did lose to Bowling Green. I believe they lost to Northern Illinois. And I want to say their other loss was Miami of Ohio. I can't remember the third loss. But their 2 wins aren't impressive. They limped into bowl season. While South Alabama had an impressive win against Louisiana, that's an impressive win. They made the Sun Belt Championship. Felt like that was an impressive win. So I think South Alabama kind of turned their season around. Defensively, South Alabama can be had, which is an issue. But I think South Alabama's offense is better than Western Michigan's offense, and I think they're going to be able to put up points against this Western Michigan defense. Maybe some gambling advice might take the 8.5 with Western Michigan. Maybe. I'm not sure. Bet at your own risk, by the way. But I think South Alabama is the winner. I just trust their offense a little bit more. Hayden Wolff, to me, can get turnover prone. And I like Gio Lopez added dimension to throw in the fact that he can use his legs. And I like Jamal Pritchard a lot, too. I really do. I think Jamal Pritchard is a really underrated receiver for South Alabama. And I think he's going to be able to make some plays against this Western Michigan defense. So give me South Alabama. And that's all I got for y'all. Just a quick episode going over the games today. Obviously, no games tomorrow, NFL Sunday. No games Monday, but we are back with games Tuesday through Saturday. I'm gonna do an episode for the bowl games Tuesday. And I think there's a game Friday. Yeah, Notre Dame and Indiana plays Friday. I'm not going to include them in my weekday bowl episode. What I'm going to do is Friday, I'm going to do a whole playoff episode. So there's going to be the Indiana game, the lone game Friday, and then it's going to be the 3 other playoff games on Saturday. So I got it right here. So Friday, Indiana, Notre Dame, like I said. Then SMU, Penn State, Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State are the only games on Saturday. So I'm going to separate it. So I'm going to do my weekday bowls, excluding Indiana, and I'm going to do my weekend because Friday's technically the weekend. Notre Dame, and then the other 3 playoff games. It was going to be a playoff episode. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. I will see y'all possibly tomorrow. I got to hit the road tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll do an episode tomorrow recapping these 2 games. But, man, y'all enjoy these 2 games. I hope they're good ones. Especially Army Navy. Army Navy is always a good game. I always tend to not. You know what? I'm not gonna say that. But y'all enjoy y'all Saturday. I know it's early. Thank y'all for being up with me. I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.